Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. All right. Want to get into something this morning that I don't ever hear talked about. We talk about having stuff, having food, having gear. We talk about having skills and everything like that. That's all great after. What do you do? There's the plan, I guess, if you will. All right. And I broke this out into the first 90s. All right. And bear with me, you're going to understand why. In any sort of disaster, okay, and this could be fire, tornado, hurricane, World War III, whatever it would be. There are crucial time periods that you are going to have to do certain things. And not doing these could mean the difference between you living and dying. Okay, there's no other way to put this. All right, this is strictly about your survival. Something happens. Okay, your power goes out. The tornado sirens go off. You see a mushroom cloud in the distance, whatever it would be. The very first crucial amount of time is the first 90 seconds. Okay, you have to be like that. You have to assess the situation, all right? The power went out, okay? Does that appear to be local? Does it appear to be a whole lot bigger than local, okay? Is the power out everywhere? Turn on a radio real quick. If the radio doesn't work, it's a lot bigger, okay? You should have your battery-operated radios. If no radio station can broadcast, we've been hit by an EMP or the city near you has been taken out, okay? What do you hear? Like I said, do you hear tornado sirens? Did you hear a news report saying, gee, there's a Category 4 hurricane that's just about to hit your town, whatever it would be? Do you hear gunfire? Okay, this is the first 90 seconds. What does the weather look like? What does the sky look like? Okay, if it's a clear sunny day and the power all of a sudden goes out, that's different than if it's a raging thunderstorm. Okay, now granted, it could be the power's out because somebody cut a power line somewhere or whatever it would be. All right, but these are things you have to assess in the first 90 seconds. All right, are people coming out of their house? Are people going into their house? What do they know that you don't know? This is what you need to figure out in the first 90 seconds. What the hell just happened? Okay, some of it's obvious. We have ample notification for a hurricane coming or whatever it would be. All right, so hopefully you're figuring this stuff out before 90 seconds before the hurricane hits. So then you get to the first 90 minutes. All right, and now what do you do in the first 90 minutes? You've determined this was an EMP. You determined a hurricane's coming or whatever it would be. Tornado, okay, chances are in 90 seconds you had to make that decision, get into your shelter and say, the hell with that, that's it, okay? But let's talk on bigger scale. Let's say this was a nuclear attack. Let's say this was an EMP. Troops landed on, in your country, whatever it would be. First 90 minutes, review your emergency plan with the family, okay? What are we doing? Can we stay here? Are we getting out? Okay. Again, turn on the radio. You should have this done instantly, but 90 seconds is a little rough. Chances are you got to go put batteries in that battery operated radio because you don't want to leave batteries in your devices. They'll ruin your devices. All right. Where's your bug out bag? Okay. Is it in the car? Chances are that's going to be, if you're bugging in, your bug out bag should be in the car. Okay, it doesn't need to be in the house because you should have everything else in the house. Your bug out bag should be already in the car, ready to go. First 90 minutes. Fill everything possible you can with water. Your bathtub, any bottles you have, whatever it would be. All right, get that filled up because you don't know how long the water is going to last. If you've got municipal water, those big water tanks on the hill that are gravity fed or whatever it would be, if we've just had an EMP, there's no way for those things to be refilled. If we've just, we get troops coming in, what's the first thing the troops are going to do? They're going to cut out the water. They're going to cut out the electricity. Look at Ukraine right now. Okay, perfect example. Everything gone in way of services. Put gas in your car. I'm not saying go to the gas station. I'm saying that gas that you have stored, now is the time to do this first 90 minutes. Now is the time to fill that tank and out of your stored gas. If you had a half a tank, fill it up. If you had a full tank already, great. Throw the gas cans in the back of the car. Take them with you, okay? But make sure the car's got a full tank. This is the time to do it now. If you're staying home, get in the house, make sure your windows and doors are locked, and start communication. All right, this is the time where you want to get a hold of brother, sister, daughter, son, mom, dad, whatever, Okay, guys, everybody head to the bug out location. Everybody head here, whatever. People are going to need to move. That first 90 minutes is the time where you need to decide it's time to go. Get your ass on the road and go, right? In the first 90 minutes, the public is, the majority of the public, remember only about 5% of the people are preppers. Okay? The majority of the public's like, oh, look, the power's out, blah, 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 blah. Not having a clue as to what's going on. Of course, unless you saw a mushroom cloud in the distance. But this is the time to get moving before everybody else does. All right. First 90 hours, 72 hours, whatever it would be. Okay, so first 4 days, 3.5 days instead of 4 days, whatever it would be. Or 3.5 days instead of 3. You need to be where you're going to be. 3 days later, 3.5 days later is not the time to decide, gee, you know what? It's time to go. Look at hurricanes. I went through Superstorm Sandy up in Boston. Didn't hit us nearly as bad as it hit Jersey or anything like that, but it was still pretty nasty. The roads will get packed after about 3 days. People are like, oh my God, the power is not coming back on. There's crazy, the crime will start. You need to have already gone. This is why you need to move in the first 90 minutes, not the first 90 hours, because we've all seen pictures of gridlock on the highway. Not going to happen. You want to be moving when traffic's still moving. You want to get on the road 3 days later. Forget it. Okay. By 90 hours, by 3.5 to 4 days, the world is going to have realized something's seriously wrong. Crime is going to start taking place. Remember, most people are 3 days worth of food from going nuts. You're now there, okay? People aren't going to have the food. They're going to start ransacking the grocery stores, the drug stores, the gas stations, whatever it would be. You already want to be in place, locked in and hunkered down with your food before the crazies get out there. The last place you want to be is, gee, Martha, we need a gallon of milk. I'm going to the store. No, okay? First, by 90 hours, you need to be hunkered down, in place, end of story, not going anywhere. The only thing you need to be doing is, in those 90 hours at this point now, is setting up your perimeter. All your people should be where they're in your location. Your mag should be organizing at this point. While the rest of the world is going crazy trying to loot grocery stores, you need to be with your mag, setting up guard duty, setting up assignments, on putting out your alarms, whatever. This is what you need to be doing. Securing your perimeter, okay? In complete chaos by now at 90 hours, chances are the government has now gone to martial law. which means the military is now in control, which means you're going to have roadblocks. You're not going to be allowed places. You're going to have military presence anywhere and everywhere. The police will have been overrun at this point. Chances are the police have gone home to take care of their families, and the military, what of them didn't run away to go take care of their families, will be the ones in charge. You do not want to be confronting military at this point. All right. You want to be locked down. That's it. Okay. By 90 days, 1/3 of the population of the United States will be dead. 1/3 of the population of the world will be dead. Starvation, lack of medication, violence, whatever it's going to be. We will have lost 1/3 of the population. By this point, there is no going back. All right. If we are in complete chaos, EMP, this is when tribalism will really come into play. The government has collapsed at this point. By 90 days, in a situation like this, the military has probably gotten to the point where if it's a war, they're fighting on the war fronts. They're not worried about the civilian population at this point. You are on your own. Okay. You will have to start either aligning with or competing with other tribes for resources. There are only so many deer in the forest. There are only so many fish in the lake. There's only so much water around. And either you and the group that is half a mile away are working together and making one bigger mag, or you are competing, which means now you have a Hatfields and McCoys situation. All right. If you have a organized mag where, everybody stocked food and had gardens, all the sort like this, and they were a mag that came together out of necessity because they had nothing and it was just, mob rule over there, they are going to be attacking. You need to be prepared for that. All right. By 90 days, like I said, there is no coming back. So take a look around. This is what the new normal is going to be. And when you look at bombed out cities, burning, looting, rioting, that's going to be the norm. This is when you know for sure we are in Teowaki, okay? Without rule of law, end of the world as we know it. That's it. You are now survival of the fittest. I'm not going to go to 90 weeks because that's a little long, but I'm going to give you a different 90. At 52 weeks, 1 year, 90% of the population will have perished. That's the 90. This will primarily be to starvation. A lot of it will be due to violence. When I say 90% of the people, you think about that. Look around your neighborhood. Look around your office. Go to the grocery store. If you survive, pick 9 other people there that will be dead in a year. That's the reality of what this is, guys. A lot of people romanticize SHTF and think, well, gee, the world's going to go to hell. It's all going to be burning around me, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to make steak and potatoes for dinner tonight. Okay, no. This isn't a Hollywood movie. I don't care how far out in the country you live, you're going to need to do all of these things. 90. That's a key number, guys. Start putting these plans in play. Write it down. Put yourself a list. What do I need to do? 90 seconds. You're not going to go find a list to figure out what to do in 90 seconds. What do I need to do in the first 90 minutes? I need to do this. What do I need to do in the first 90 hours? I need to do this. Stick it on the refrigerator. Okay. This is reality, guys. If the world gets hot, any hotter than it already is, if China goes into Taiwan, if Iraq goes into Israel, whatever it would be, if this gets worse, you're going to want to know this and be planned for it, be prepared for it. You're not going to want to shoot from the hip when all of a sudden the power goes out because a mushroom cloud is off in the distance. Have a good Tuesday. Pinball out.